Hi, how is everyone doing? I am going to be talking Huntington's disease. Today, I initially uh, wanted to do this channel a while ago, but I am a caregiver of my mother who has a disease called Huntington's disease. And I thought, you know, I've experienced, 10 years of it. And I've learned every moment of it, and I just wanted to share. I wanted to. This is my way of giving back. If I learned something, I don't want to keep it to myself. What's the use of keeping it to myself if I can't be of some type of help or resource to someone? Like I said, my mother was living on her own up until about 3 years ago. She had a fall, and it just kind of made me kind of try to convince her to come stay. Typically, she's always been very self-sufficient, and so typically she would have said no, but this particular time, she said yes. So I was excited, because I had been asking her to come stay for probably a couple of years, prior to that. So I did not want to take her independence away. So I definitely didn't want to, rush her, coming to stay with me. I, just kind of watched her, as close as I possibly could. Um, so, but I just want to share with you guys when I initially started taking care of my mother. It was challenging, because at first, just because of all of the aspects of it, just making sure that all of her insurance was in place, her services, um, her home health aides were in place. um, and I'll talk about that another time, because she actually had three um, aides, and they all quit, because I think it's because of the distance that they were having to travel. It wasn't anything that had to do with the disease specifically, because even though my mother has the disease, she's still utilizing a walker to walk around, and to get to and fro to the restroom. They're not having to do that, which is a good thing. um, I believe that the reason why my mother is still walking, I mean, being able to utilize a walker, she can get around very slowly, but it gets done. But she can get around with her walker, and I think that's because my mother was very active. um, in her younger days, she was very active, and she was always walking, or doing something, going somewhere, you know what I mean. Even like, it was like the last 5 years before she even came to live with me. Prior to me moving her to a handicap unit, she actually lived upstairs. And my mother would go up and down the stairs all the time, and I would try to get her to move, and she did not want to move. She would, she didn't want to move until she had to move. And then I was like, oh yes, perfect, let me put her in a handicap unit. But she was, always so self-sufficient and stuff. And I don't I'm talking about this because there are not any videos about it. And I am not, you know what I mean? I'm one of those people that, hey, if I get the niche to do something, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna be that one to talk about it, just because no, I mean, you don't really have anyone that's, speaking of their experience. And I'm a little younger than most, so I've had to take care of my mother, which is what I'm supposed to do. As her daughter, I'm just doing what I feel like I've been called to do, and I'm doing it. It hasn't been easy every step of the way, but I've learned so much. um I have learned so much. I don't want you to be, if you having to deal with, or ever having to deal with Huntington's disease, don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of it. Don't we all, um everybody has their day, you know what I mean? Everybody, people, may be, afraid. If there's anyone that's afraid of Huntington's, don't be afraid. Everyone is going to, as long as you have air in your lungs, I have learned that you will be tested. Whether you are dealing with Huntington's or cancer or, any disease that anyone has dealt with, or everyone's facing something. Today you could be fine, and then the next day is why you have to be grateful for every day that you are given. You could have a disease, and die from something else totally unrelated. So it's just, you have to live day to day, and you have to live every day to your fullest. I believe that prayer helps. Prayer has helped me so much, and I'm gonna talk about that. I'll talk about my mother, and uh, she when she had a choking spell, and I'll tell you about it. But I don't want you to be afraid. I don't want you to be to fear anything. Just as long as you have God with you, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. You'll be able to face anything, and still be able to do His work. Because my mother has, just her presence alone in my house has been a tremendous blessing for me. But just because I see how strong she is, and how much of a go getter she is. She's still not, most people think, oh, just go getter. You're a hustler. You're about your money. But no, but she's a go getter in her own element, and every day she encourages me, and I'm like, wow, you know what I mean, and it's a wonderful thing to see. Yeah. So I mean, stay tuned. Like I said, I have more videos, but today is more of a motivational approach, just to kind of give you a hint of and an outlook of what it is that I'll be talking about. Like I said, I'm just here to help. I don't even, when I decided to do this video, I knew that it was something that I was supposed to do, because I have been thinking about doing it for a while. And it's not anything negative. If it was something negative, negative things, you're like, oh, I shouldn't do that, But I knew that it would help someone. I know that this will benefit someone, if not a lot of people. So I'm not gonna keep a closed mouth when I can help. I can't touch everybody, you know what I mean, physically. So this is what I have to do, just to make sure that everyone, or anyone that would benefit, is able to. So this is the platform I'll be utilizing. I'm not afraid to speak up, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to tell, and be able to benefit someone, maybe in their journey with their mother or their father or their sister or brother or aunt, uncle, anyone, cousin, anyone else. Anyone can benefit from this. Like I said before, I am not a licensed physician. So these are just, even, some things that I may have done, or are doing, or what have you. Like I said, I'm not a licensed physician. These are things that just worked for me, being a caregiver for my mother. Okay. So anyway, without further ado, you guys have a great day. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, I am talking Huntington's awareness. Have a good day.